All right, I figured I'll just do a little bit of walking into town and just chat about some things that I saw online last night, which is just ridiculous. It does not matter what political party that you are on, the right or the left. But when there is a disaster, like it happened with that hurricane came up through Georgia and South Carolina, devastated North Carolina on the west part of it. You see people, one man in particular that hit the news, that he was taking his own helicopter and volunteering to rescue people, and then some volunteer chief or whatever told him if he keeps going, he's going to be arrested. That's just ridiculous. People trying to help others, doing no harm, breaking no laws, and you get some butthead that just thinks he's on a power trip. But that's the world we live in. Just like the last 4 years, things have gotten worse because of what they're doing up there in the Capitol. Not know how to control things, spending money like there's no tomorrow. And then here we have this disaster hit, and the VP stands up and makes a speech and saying they're going to give $750 to the families that are affected. Let that sink in. $750. What is $750 going to do? With the inflation and the economy and all the way it is right now, 750 is pocket change. I just don't. And if it was the other way around, if it was a Republican in office and doing the same thing, I would still say the same thing. It don't matter who's in the office, the right or left. It is crazy how we spend millions, billions of dollars of helping other countries, and we can't even help our veterans, homeless veterans, homeless people in general. And then when we have United States citizens that really need the government help or help at all, the government's not there to help them, $750, not even showing up in the area to see what they need so they can deploy whoever, the National Guard or whatever. And you got people that is out there, boots on the ground, helping. Trump went out there, communicated with Elon Musk, and got satellite internet out there, so they can have some kind of communication. Like I said, it don't matter which side you're on. Leave politics out of it and just get out there and help people. If you have the ability, you have the authority to help them, you have resources, then get out there and help them, regardless of what it is. Even if you're at one of the posts and just being sure everybody's got water and a meal or whatever it is. If you're able to go out there and help them just do that little task, that means that task is getting done and other people can volunteer and do other tasks and get them done. And after a while, everything's getting done. But just flatten out telling people that's volunteering to help that they're going to get arrested because they're helping. And at the time of making this video, I have not heard why that chief of the police department, volunteer, I do believe, said he's going to, helicopter driver is going to be arrested for helping because he's interfering the rescue mission. And I say again, as in my other video, the helicopter volunteer was part of the rescue mission. You don't tell him he's going to be arrested. You communicate with him and say, okay, let's work together, coordinate things so you can actually volunteer your time, your helicopter, which I guarantee is not cheap, and the fuel that goes in it, again, is not cheap. So we can get these people off the hill and get them united with family. Not just tell them, oh, if you don't stop, we're going to get you arrested. That's crazy. That's not how you work together. You don't go have a power trip and just take it out on whoever you feel that you can or want to. You come together and leave all the differences that you may have, political or religion or anything else that you may not agree on. One thing you can agree on, these people need to be rescued. Simple. Let's work together, get it done, and then go get back to our lives of agreeing and disagreeing on whatever we want to. But I tell you what, if you get a chance, the way this world is, get out in nature. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. Very relaxing. Just walking, regardless if it's a paved path or not, just going through nature. And there's places I walk, as you see in my videos, that there is no path really. I mean, we've got little streams here. Let's see here. Little streams. Nothing like I've seen in some people walking around in some videos with mountain streams. Oh man, and they get in front of the camera and, say their piece of whatever they want to talk about. Them kind of background drops, seeing a river or a little stream up in the mountains or whatever. I think that was in Colorado. I think is one last one I saw. They don't even have to get in front of the camera. Just have the camera showing the stream and stand behind the camera and talk. It's very relaxing. Just seeing the stream of water. Wish I was there. Sounds like I need to take another vacation, take a trip. But the things have been dealing with in the last few years, daughter having another child, um, getting her a place, be sure, they're okay. I mean, they're not but like a 20-minute drive, but still, as a parent, a real loving parent, always worries to be sure their kids and their kids' kids, grandkids, are okay as well. It takes a lot of your time, worth every bit of it, though. Wouldn't miss it in the world. And If I stayed in the workforce, the corporate world, I wouldn't have this precious free time to walk around in nature like this. Or if I wanted to go see my daughter and grandkids, I just get in the car and go. I wouldn't be able to do that if I was still working. That's why I retired when I did. I wanted to flip the norm, not work 75% of your life and have maybe, if you're lucky, 25% of it left. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to work all my life, work your fingers to the bone, they say, and then not be able to enjoy all the fruits that you have produced and saved over the years. It's not a normal is not what it used to be. I say it many times in many different videos. The normal is, it's like every 10 years, you're getting ready for the next 10. It's for the first 10 years, you learn how to go to school, and then the next 10, you learn how, adults are starting, live their lives and all in high school and all, thinking of what you're going to do as a career, college and all. Then you go to college, 5, 10 years or whatever field you're going to be in, trade school, whatever it may be. And when you're there, you figure out exactly what you're going to do. And then for the next 10, 20, 30 years, 40 years, you be in that field. And I think the expectancy of lifespan in the United States right now is like 70 something. I think it was 75, somewhere between 75 and 80, I do believe. Maybe I think it was like 79, I think. And if you're going to work until you're 65, 70, you don't, on average, you don't have that much time left. So why work 30, 40 years and then have maybe less than 10 to enjoy it? I'd rather walk out here in nature like this and have a cup of Joe and talk to the camera, listen to the birds, see the snakes. I'm walking on trails that's really heavy in the forest or in the nature that I see snakes just slithering right across the path. Sometimes they'll stop and I'll stop and enjoy watching them and just see what they're going to do and just really enjoy and take it all in. But living the normal, what people expect you to live and run your life is not the same anymore. The norm has changed. A lot of people are still stuck into the norm as it was in the 60s and 70s and 80s, even the 90s. You have to keep up with times. I mean, you stay in that rut. In most cases, the norm does not work as time goes on. Times change, you have to adapt to it. Now, of course, there are still some fields that's almost going to have to be that norm. Go to school, go to college, get a degree, and like doctors and stuff like that, you have to get your certifications and all that. But It's not normal for everybody, to go to college and stuff. Not anymore. The opportunities that's out there that you can do and comfortably, very comfortably live your life is abundantly abroad. Is and a lot of people complain and say fast food workers should be able to afford a home, nice car, live comfortably. Well, that's one thing that's not changed. Fast food restaurant is not to make a living. Fast food restaurant is like elementary school. It gets you started of going to school. You learn how it works to get you to that next level of education. Fast food restaurant is get you to know how the business world works, how the workforce works, to prepare you for something bigger and better in life. You're not going to go to elementary school and then graduate out of third grade and then go get you a big job. No more you're going to work at a fast food restaurant and go buy your Rolls Royce and have a 3-story house on the beach. It's not what it's made for. And a lot of people that work at fast food restaurants, they keep demanding equal pay, higher pay. In most cases, that's because they got an easy job and they just want to get paid more. They're not willing to go out there and get a bigger and better job so they can get paid better. They want to keep the easy work, but get the pay that people out there are doing the hard work. It's not how it works. Because if you noticed, very shortly after all these fast food restaurants workers started demanding higher pay, kiosk machines started popping up. You want higher pay? Fine. We'll replace your butt with a machine and let your butt go. You think McDonald's became about of making billions by not knowing how to play the game? You better think twice. Why should I pay you $14, $15 an hour to flip freaking hamburgers when I can get a machine that will take orders? Yes, they do have machines that will flip burgers. It's all computerized. Then hamburgers will be more consistent because it can remember they can have 12 hamburgers laid out and it knows hamburger at the top left hand corner has been on that side for X amount of minutes or seconds or whatever. It knows when it needs to be flipped. So every hamburger would be flipped on time. Not some worker standing there having them hamburgers there and be on their cell phone texting their girlfriend or boyfriend and make the hamburger supposed to be cooked on one side for a minute and it'd be a minute and a half. Then the next one might be a minute and 45 seconds. Next one might be a minute and 15 seconds. It changes the flavor of the hamburger. But the computer, it'll be a minute, which will make the food taste better. if that's possible at a fast food restaurant. But it will make it taste better because it'll be more consistent. We all know you go to a steakhouse, say, and get a steak. You ask it for well done, and it's just as red inside as American flag. Well, that's not well done. Computer can take that steak, I've seen in videos, and weigh that steak, the thickness and all, and calculate out how long, at what temperature it needs to be cooked so it will be well done for the customer. So go ahead and ask for higher wages and see if your butt don't get replaced. Kiosk machines will keep popping up as long as people are not willing to move on in their lives and thinking a starter job should be get paid as a corporate job in some office that's on the 14th floor. Until that stops, which probably never will, because so many people want to get paid for basically doing absolutely nothing. I've seen it in fast food restaurants that it's hard to get service. Yeah, somebody's golf ball down here. Huh. I mean, you walk in and you stand there for a good 5-8 minutes before somebody recognizes you or willing to come and say something to you, say, may I help you? Because a lot of them will see you, look at you, recognize you, but not willing to come over there and help you. It's crazy. Fast food is not like it used to be. You get good service and people willing to work for minimum wage because they know it's not designed to pay all their bills and live on their own and raise a family. It's getting them to be introduced to the corporate world of how the workforce works. But now you got people in there that just wants to show up, do minimum work, but get the maximum pay they can out of the company. And them kind of people, you know good and well, your food is not going to be good because they're not caring about the customers. They just being selfish of whatever they can get out of it. If they get fired, they don't care. They just move on into the next company and do the same thing. After all the BS of the flu season that we had for them years, people got used to sitting home and get them government checks. And now they have to go back to work because some checks are run out. And that brings me back to the beginning of this video. People that are locked down in their homes. I was not one of them. They say locked down. I went out even more. You're not going to lock me down in my house. This is a free country. I want to leave, I leave. Not only did I leave my house, I drove across from one side of the United States to the other. You're not going to lock me down in my house. The more you do, the more I'm going to be outside. I didn't stop my life, didn't alter my life in any way. Went shopping as normal, never wear the mask or anything like that. Like, nope. You don't want to be around people that don't wear them? Well, don't go out. Like, if you don't like being videoed, recorded out in the public, don't go out in the public because you're recorded on cameras, hundreds of cameras probably, each and every day that you leave your house. The only difference is there's nobody standing and holding the camera. You really don't think about it. There's somebody standing on the side of the road or in the parking lot and recording with a cell phone or whatever in their hand. You're going to complain about that they don't have the right to record you. But then again, all the Tesla cars that you see is recording you. Some of the stoplight has cameras, security cameras, parking lot cameras. You're being recorded, everywhere you go. But that brings me back to the beginning of the video. All these people that were locked down, they were getting, I've seen some people getting $300 a week. I've seen people show me checks that they were getting $700 a week. I even saw some that was getting $1,500 a week. Not a month, but a week. Yeah, I saw people getting $1,000 a week, over $1,000 a week, just to sit at home where there is no disaster. They're in their house. But here we got people in North Carolina, just take North Carolina itself, the west part of it, that got devastated by the storm of the hurricane as it came up. Some of them don't even have a house. They don't have anything, lost everything. And the government's going to give them $750. Let that sink in. $750. Not $750 a month, not $750 a week, but $750. What's wrong with that? That causes problems. Not to be able to do anything with $750. But these people that getting these 3, 5, 7, 1,200 a week, even just a month, for a couple of years or so, or if not more, they get used to it. And then when all that runs out and they have to go back to work and actually do something to get that money, they're not willing to do it. They still want to stay in that mode of do nothing and get paid. The government has got it all screwed up. And like I said, it don't matter if it's the Republicans or Democrats in there. If you're not doing right, you're not doing right. Simple as that. Sad as it may be, regardless if you're on the right or the left. All the ones that are on the left, the ones that in there now, is not doing things right. Simple. It's been shown that. But like I said, it don't matter who's in the office. Do your job the way it's supposed to be done. The ones in there now is not doing that. That needs to change. And it don't matter what side, what party is in there. They just need to do the right thing and things will get better. But giving away billions of dollars, that makes the inflation just escalate even more than what it is insane. Hopefully that it never happens, but it's getting worse. Like I said, it's just getting worse over the years. And even this year, in the last month or two, you know, there's an individual that got shot at twice, twice, because the hate that's in this world. Now, if he continues to run and he gets back in office, if there's people out there willing to try to take him out before he even gets in the office, what's going to happen if he gets in office? Who else is that going to trigger to do something that's unthinkable? That's willing to go out there and destroy their life forever of getting locked up or killed and taken out by snipers or whatever if they get caught in the act. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I already see things that is leading up to it, like trying to take somebody out twice in a month or two. November is right around the corner. Time is always going to at the same speed, but time will fly by if you don't get out there and make a life for yourself and stop bickering about what other people think and what other people do that you don't agree with. That's just like this year. It dawned on me that I can remember graduating from high school. But you know what? That was 40 years ago. 40. I graduated in 1984. This is 2024. That's 40 years. When I was graduating, I said, oh man, 50 and 60, retirement time. I got so many years. Yeah, but them years sure did go by fast. I accomplished a lot. I listened to a lot of older people. We used to go to, when I was in high school, the youth group at the church used to go to nursing homes and sit down and talk to the one in the shut-ins at the home, at the nursing home, and just talk to them, just have a conversation. And one thing I noticed about all of them, when they talked about the past, is time flies. 40 years is 40 years, but what you accomplish in them 40 years makes the difference. Don't waste time, because them 40 years will fly by. They'll fly by just as fast when you're doing something productive, but you don't want to get them 30, 40 years gone. Man, I wish I did this. Man, I wish I did that. If I did this, I would be in a better place than I am now. Don't need that. Everybody's going to be born. Well, that's the controversy too, because there's people think they should be able to take that from people that's not even born yet. That's a whole different video. I can break that down in multiple videos on that one. Well, that's normal. Things that should be done. Everybody would be born. Everybody has to live. Everybody has to die. And somewhere in there, you got to pay taxes. But there's ways you almost can get out of that. But they got it down pretty much. You're going to have to pay taxes because if you buy anything, you got to pay taxes. Even if you don't own a car or home or anything. But you're born, you live, and you die. It's what you do between the two. When you're born and when you die. It's the one in the middle that counts the most. Because you don't know how much time you have. In the last month, these famous actors dropping off at, 60, some of them 50 years old. They haven't even lived their life at that age. Regardless how much money you have, you haven't lived your life. It's a shame to see that happen. I mean, I've seen people that's supposed to be fitness trainers and dying off early. And they're, nice and healthy and eat right, live right, exercise, and something still can come and get them. Some disease, heart disease, kidney disease. You never know when it's your time. Even if you're in perfect health, you don't know if you could be riding down the road, light turns green, pull out in the intersection. Bam! Somebody wasn't watching and T-bone you. You're gone. You never know. That's one thing I used to think about a lot is I'm getting older. My time is getting shorter. That's just logic. That's just the way the numbers work. You get older, you're getting closer to that deadline. Now, of course, who's to say that I may be one of them lucky ones that lived 112, 114 years old? I don't know. Because the people that live that old, when they're 50, they didn't know they were going to live 112, 114 years old. They didn't know that. It just happened. Who's to say that you or I are not going to be able to do the same thing? Be one of them lucky ones that live that many years. I mean, this can be my last video I ever make. I don't know. But I don't think about it anymore. I just live my life day by day, getting things done that I know that I need to get done, that I'm responsible for, so other people can have the luxury life that I may not have myself. So I will be remembered in their minds a good person, not a selfish person, thinking only of myself, doing things that only that I get rewards for. No matter if it helps somebody else out or not. I need this, I need that, I'm going to go do whatever with whoever, be with whoever, hang around with whoever, just so I can get what I want, what my needs are. You got people in the world that are that way. And most likely we always will. You have to take them people and cut them out of your life, or they're going to take you down with them. You can share all your care for them, help them all you can. And at the end of the day, they only care about what they can get from you or from anybody else. It's a crazy world. Things are getting worse. All-time high inflation, wars all over the place, gas prices are up, grocery stores are out of stock of certain normal everyday things that I've never seen a grocery store have shortness of. I just have to look and see what is going on and figure out ways to work around it to keep my life going normal and smooth as possible. I don't rely on others. Now, eventually, I'll get old enough probably that I will have to rely on others, but then I will have no control over that. But like I said, who says that I'm not going to be able to live to 112 years old? I don't know. I mean, I feel great, but probably some of them people that passed away 50, 60 years old felt great too, but you never know. So we don't have time to waste. And it's never too late to start. But if you're in the 20s, if you're in your 20s, you are so far ahead of the game. You have so much time as long as nothing happens to get started. And hopefully you live a long, long life. But like I said, you don't know how long you got. It's best to make the best of it while you still got it. Because you can make all the money in the world, buy all the things you want, but you can't take any of it with you. So you can have all the money, buy all your things you want, try to live a nice, abundant, luxury life, but at the end, somebody else is going to have them things of yours and they're going to live life. Do things that's more important than trying to own so many things. That's not what life is all about. I know this is a long video, but it was a long walk, and it was a wonderful walk. And I think I need to get out of here because my coffee is almost gone. Matter of fact, it is now. So I will see you in the next video.